Alright guys, so now that I sanded everything down, it looks like it's coming together. The top looks okay. I mean, I'm gonna be rusting everything out anyway, so I don't really care about the rough look that it's got right now. And to be honest, I kind of like that rough look, that incomplete look. I don't want my cafe to look like it's a show bike. And moving on to the side where I filled in the hole of the emblem, it looks like I did a horrible job because it actually is a horrible job. It's kind of hard to fill this hole in with a MIG welder. I wish I had a TIG to keep the heat down because it looks like the heat I was applying to the tank kind of pushed everything inside. So it looks horrible, but whatever. What am I gonna do is just sand it. It doesn't have to be perfect anyways, and I'm gonna be rusting it afterwards. But what I'm gonna do right now is I'm gonna be cleaning out the inside of the tank again, and instead of using the cream product that I used last year that my friends recommended, I'm gonna be using red coat. The cream cleaner and the liner I was recommended by a friend to use, but it ended up wearing out during the season and it was horrible. It wasn't really seating up the tank, it was still leaking. So I'm gonna clean everything out in here and use this red coat, which is about 30 bucks, and you get this whole quote that you can use in your gas tank and more. And on here, unlike the cream, which recommends you to use acid to clean out all the rust before, it says here you can seal all the rust in and prevent future rusting. So you can actually run this right into the tank if you have minimum amount of rust. I'm just gonna go ahead and put these bolts in the tank, put water in it, put soap in it, shake it up, remove all the debris that's in here, and then after that's dry, I'm gonna be coating it with this red coat and see how that looks. Alright guys, so check this out. I was just cleaning the tank. I put water in it with dish soap and nuts and bolts, shook it up nice and clean so that I get all these rusty shit in the tank out. But at the end of it, I heard this huge piece inside just moving around, making this crazy noise. So I decided to peek in there, and look what's coming out right now. This is the cream liner that I put in here last year, and it's literally just coming out, gushing out. I'm using plier to pry everything out because I don't want any of this crap in here. And this really just tells you how easy these cream liner things come out. I mean, look at this. I followed the instructions. I used the acid cleaner, but as you can see, there's rust in here. It looks like the cream liner actually adheres onto rust, and that's why this thing is just falling apart. So it's pretty crazy, and I'm glad I'm getting rid of this and going with the red coat. But anyways, I just wanted to make sure that we captured this. It's like an alien creature coming out of my tank. So I'm gonna go ahead and just finish off what I'm doing, clean it out so that I can have a nice clean tank inside. Alright guys, so the inside of the tank has been cleaned out. I have sanded out my wells. It's not looking perfect, but whatever. Nothing about this bike is perfect anyway. So what I'm gonna do is finally get on to coating the inside of the tank with the red coat. Like I said before, the cream tank liner was not working out so well, and you can get this whole thing for like 30 bucks. If you have a minimum amount of rust, you can just put this in and it will cover over rust. So this is what I'm gonna be using today. So I kept up where the gas tank is coming out, the petcock, with 3M paint tape. A lot of people told me not to use duct tape because this thing eats out duct tape. Okay, so it says here you can get by with 1 quart on tank of about 12 gallons or less. This tank is definitely less than 12 gallons. 12 gallons is like as big as my Evo. That's a huge tank. 2 quarts for larger gas tanks. Tip the tank onto each side and slosh the coating around, completely cover the inside. Drain out the excess coating and cover it tightly to save it for reuse. Alright, here we go. So I'm just gonna grab this funnel, pop this guy open, which actually alright, I need a screwdriver, but this should work. Opening this is like just a regular painter's can. There you go. Now that it's open, whoa, it's nice and red. It's more like candy red. It actually looks kind of cool. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and pour this in here. I'll probably pour in about half of it for now and shake it up, let it sit for a few seconds, and pour the rest in. So there goes half, more than half actually. Take the funnel out and shake it up. You know what, I'm just gonna dump the rest of it in here. So there it goes. Now as for the funnel, I think I'm just gonna throw this away. I use this for my oil changes on the Evo and my other vehicles, but I don't want red coat type fluid flowing into the engine. Alright, so after you shook up the gas tank, and make sure that the fluid has been cycled through the gas tank, you do want to drain the excess red coat that's in the gas tank. So just undo your little tape and let it drain out. So as you can see, some of it came out. Not as much as I thought actually came out of the tank. A lot of it's actually still in the tank, so that's okay. It's working as it should. So I'm just gonna let it sit here like this for 24 hours and see what it looks like afterwards.